Hello friends, this is Military Reporter Frontline Focus. Welcome to a short military video. Today we'll talk about key military developments in hotspots like Kurakhovo and Pokrovske, the aftermath of recent Ukrainian drone strikes that led to the damage and closure of an airport in Moscow, and analyze the growing rift in Ukraine over peace talks with Russia. In a significant escalation, the Pokrovske sector has witnessed a surge in attack intensity, 29 on Saturday and 39 on Sunday. These aggressive maneuvers signal a strategic push by Russian forces to advance and potentially encircle Ukrainian troops. The ongoing support from aviation and artillery provides a formidable threat to Ukrainian defenders. However, despite these temporary gains by the adversary, the Ukrainian armed forces are actively engaging in stabilization measures, maintaining control over critical positions. Similarly, the Kurakhovo sector faced increased hostilities, with the number of assaults rising to 30. The enemy is attempting to breach northern and southern approaches to encircle Ukrainian forces near the Nevelsk foothold. The opponent's military coordination is particularly notable, reflecting their intent to encircle. Despite these concerning developments, Ukrainian forces remain resilient and steadfast in their defensive operations. Additional frontline observations. Key activities have also been spotted in the Kupiansk, Lyman, Siversk, and Torets directions. In these regions, a classic tactic of probing for weak spots in the defense line is evident, characterized by intermittent assault operations. Though each of these sectors presents unique challenges, the overarching trend suggests the adversary is limiting their attacks, possibly due to logistical or reinforcement constraints. Strategic assessment. The broader picture along the front lines suggests that Russian forces lack the ample reserves necessary for launching full-scale offensive campaigns across all fronts. Consequently, they are concentrating their efforts on potentially more promising sectors, possibly indicating a regrouping and rotation of forces for future offensives. On the Ukrainian side, an acute assessment of the current operational situation is imperative, preparing for potential shifts in enemy tactics. Enhanced intelligence and readiness for flexible defense positions could be pivotal in averting further breakthroughs and safeguarding strategic assets. In this context, analyzing current events implies that the Russian focus is on creating encirclements and breakthroughs. This necessitates rigorous coordination of Ukrainian defensive efforts and timely adaptation to shifts in battlefield dynamics. Ukrainian drone strikes shake Moscow, leading to casualties and airport closures. In what is described as one of Ukraine's largest drone offensives against Russia since the war's inception, a fatal strike in the Moscow region resulted in the death of a woman and forced the closure of several airports. The Russian Defense Ministry reported that it had intercepted 144 drones overnight, with 20 targeting Moscow. Notably, debris from a destroyed drone ignited a fire at Zakhovsky airfield. The attack led to the temporary shutdown of 3 out of 4 Moscow airports, including Domodedovo, and caused the suspension of over 30 flights. Traffic on a major highway into Moscow was also disrupted due to drone wreckage. Additional drone-related incidents were reported in Bryansk, where explosions were heard, and in the Tula region, where debris from downed drones landed on an energy facility. UAV sightings were also noted in Smolensk, Belgorod, Kursk, and Oryol regions. There was no immediate response from Kiev, but the attacks align with Ukraine's increased strategy of targeting military sites deep within Russia. President Volodymyr Zelensky has framed these actions as retaliatory measures against Kremlin strikes on Ukrainian civilians and infrastructure. Amidst ongoing Russian advancements in eastern Ukraine, Kiev aims to make the conflict's impact felt across the border, challenging the Russian perception of the war as a distant issue. About a month ago, Ukraine made a notable incursion into Russia's Kursk region, temporarily seizing settlements and heightening local tensions. Growing divide in Ukraine over peace talks with Russia. As tensions intensify within Ukrainian society, Public opinion surveys reveal increasing support for peace negotiations with Russia following last year's unsuccessful counteroffensive. Despite this shift, a significant portion of the population, particularly the military, remains adamantly opposed to any deals with Russia. According to a recent survey, only 18% of veterans and active-duty military personnel support pursuing peace through negotiations, marking the lowest support among all demographic groups. Remarkably, 15% of soldiers and veterans indicated they would join armed protests if Kyiv signed a peace agreement they disagreed with. Andriy Bieletsky, commander of the 3rd Assault Brigade, highlighted that while war fatigue is mounting within the society, there is no military catastrophe. Ukraine can reclaim at least a substantial part of its territories, he asserted. I see significant danger in ending the war abruptly without strategy. Many in the military believe that a peace treaty would merely allow Putin to rearm Russia's forces and launch another invasion. Director of the Center for International Studies, Volodymyr Dubovik, pointed out that the shift in public opinion could provide President Volodymyr Zelensky with the opportunity to make a deal. However, he cautioned that any ceasefire carries political risks, with many likely to view it as an unfavorable deal. Societal division deepens. Soldiers on the Eastern Front describe a widening gap between those fighting and city dwellers disconnected from the war. A soldier remarked, "The government has created conditions where the truly motivated won't agree to land concessions. But those who aren't fighting will make decisions. It's painful." As President Zelensky prepares a detailed peace plan for an upcoming summit with partners and potentially Russian representatives, Russia remains firm in rejecting a Ukrainian peace formula restoring internationally recognized borders. Meanwhile, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is reportedly crafting a peace plan for Ukraine, suggesting retaining territories captured by Russia. This growing division reflects Ukraine's challenge in navigating the complex path to peace while balancing public sentiment and political strategy.